Okay, so got a fairly quiet stretch of road here, so I thought I would check in. I kept on getting what I'm supposed to be doing today wrong. So today's Thursday, and it'll be day 18. I could never remember what it was, so I wrote it on my hand. I had to do a 5-mile warm-up, then 5 times 3 minutes fast, 2 minutes slow. So 5-minute sessions, 3 minutes fast, then 2 minutes slow in each one. And before that, a 5-mile kind of warm-up run. So it doesn't say like slow or easy on that warm-up. So I'm just sort of choosing somewhere between that and my kind of normal running pace. I think I'm probably close to my normal running pace because I'm getting slightly breathless. In general, feeling quite tired today. I don't know whether that's just because tomorrow's a rest day, so today's like the 6th day of running in a row. So maybe I'm just feeling fatigued from that, or maybe it's still the travelling. It's got me a bit tired. But yeah, I just feel like I can't be bothered really. But it's nice that having this vlog to do and the training plan gives me a bit of motivation to do that anyway. What was I going to say? So yeah, how am I feeling apart from that? So I was moaning about my shins a lot recently, and they've calmed down a lot since yesterday. They were quite painful yesterday, even when I wasn't running, and even a little bit this morning, but on this run they haven't been troubling me too much, which is good. It suggests that maybe they were just a slight reaction to that hill session on Tuesday. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I went online and I checked into shin splints and what you should do about them. And shin splints doesn't necessarily mean anything in specifically. It's like a kind of catch-all term for sore shins. So I don't really know what the issue is there. And the advice was kind of overwhelmingly that if it's bad, or even if you've got them, then you should just stop and rest for like weeks. I'm not planning on doing that. Whether that's wise or stupid, I don't know. Plenty of people I'm sure disagree with me. I just don't think they're that bad, but I will keep on monitoring them. In terms of like what you can do about it, you can take obviously anti-inflammatories. There was also like a foam rolling exercise, which I'll put a link under this video too, and you can just put like a cold compress on it, like a bag of frozen peas or whatever, if it's particularly bad. So I kind of try and experiment with all of those things, and feed back to you on whether it's working or not, or whether it's getting better or whether it's getting worse. But I'm feeling a lot better about it today than I was yesterday. So, oh yeah, another unexpected consequence of the hill runs on Tuesday was, I don't know whether because I was just tensing myself up to do it, but my muscles in my abdomen were like really sore yesterday, like sort of DOMS pain. So I don't know, it's probably good. It's like a good little workout for my abdominal muscles. Right, so what I'm going to do is now, I'll sign off now, finish this 5 miles, which I'm kind of more than halfway through. I still don't have the watch, so I had to map my run. And then I'm going to check in after these 5 3-minute, 2-minute things and just kind of tell you how they went, because there's no real way for me to film them because I'm in like the city centre here. If I leave my phone while I run away from it, I'm basically begging for it to be nicked. So I'll check in at the end and tell you how it went. Okay, so I just finished the 5 times 5-minute sessions. So I'm fairly knackered afterwards. It did go better than I was expecting it though. The first 3 minutes I went at it pretty hard, and I was going uphill, just not a huge hill, but just enough of an incline to feel it. And actually I did most of my sessions on that hill, either going up or down it, depending on where I was in the kind of cycle. The first one was pretty hard. Maybe I went at it a bit too hard. I was looking at a pace that was kind of like how you might finish a 5k if you still had some left in the tank. So it wasn't a sprint. It wasn't exactly a sprint, but it was like a pretty fast run, much faster than you'd be running like a park run or something like that. Sort of slightly too high to sustain for more than about 3 or 4 minutes, and then just a jog for the slow bits. Yeah, but I was quite happy with how it went. You know, it was painful, but it wasn't too painful. You know, I felt like it was more like the limit of what my muscles could do rather than the limit of what my cardiovascular system could do. So I wasn't feeling like I was horrendously out of breath, although I was panting pretty hard, but I did feel as if, you know, my legs were feeling just a little bit like they were on the edge of what was available. I was just thinking a bit more about shin splints as well. I was wondering, they seem to come on after the hill session, and they've kind of faded since. And I'll be interested to see what they're like tomorrow. I don't know for sure whether I'll put in an update tomorrow. Really, again, it depends on whether or not I manage to do any kind of exercise on my rest day, whether there's anything worth talking about. But if I don't, I'll definitely be doing something on Saturday, whether it's a 5-mile steady pace run or a park run, which are 2 of the 3 options. The other one's a cross country, but I don't know what I'm doing with that. I don't have no experience of it. So it'll probably be a park run, as I'm honing in on that 100 t-shirt for parkrun as well. And then Sunday I'm doing the Northumberland coastal run, so I'm supposed to be doing a 13-mile slow run on Sunday, but I've been signed up for the Northumberland coastal run for ages, so I'm doing that instead, and I'll put a link to it below. It's kind of a variable length depending, it runs along the coast, and the length depends on whether the tide's in or out, which routes you can take. But I'll put a link on so you can have a look at it. So yeah, next 3 days are rest day, probably a park run, and then almost definitely, barring great disaster, the Northumberland coastal run, which is kind of between, I think it's between 12 and 14 miles. So it's roughly where I need to be, but it's a race rather than a slow run, which I should be doing. Anyway, I'll see you probably either tomorrow or Saturday.